But
It must be breaking news.
I've got to go to breaking news.
You can only interrupt me for breaking news.
I've got to go to breaking news.
Yeah,
and it's from our reporter, Vinny O'Connor at Liverpool. Vinny, what can you tell us?
Hello everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Transfer Talk podcast. My name is Pete Graves.
It could be Peter Graves, Peter Graves, Peter Graves. Oh, Peter Graves.
Brilliant.
Peter Graves, Peter Graves, Peter Graves. Whoa, Peter Graves. Hello, Peter.
Hello, mate. That could be, if I was a boxer, that could be my walk-in song. You really pumped me up there, Dobbs. Was that a viewer, a listener recommendation?
So, the viewers are, and the listeners are coming in with ideas, but they're so specific. It's almost like trying to learn a brand new song, as opposed to me just sticking your name in something. They've really gone to town with it, with some of them. But I will be using one or two of them in the coming weeks. So,
okay.
Whoever's listening, again, do keep sending them in. I have used one of them before last week. Just need them to be a little bit more simplified, if possible.
Yeah, well, I like that.
Too clever.
They're always very topical. That's Coldplay, of course.
Yes.
We were massively in the news the other day for reasons that it's gone viral, of like two people hugging in the crowd and getting caught on camera. A bit like, a bit like if anyone ever caught me and our other guest Sam Tide at a concert. Sam, how are you, mate? Nice to see you.
Yeah, topical for the CEO of Astronomer, but also Messi was on Coldplay Cam the other night. I'm sure you saw at the Hard Rock Stadium. So the whole crowd broke into a chant of "Mercy, Mercy." Fortunately, he was with his wife, and not the head of HR. Much to everyone's relief. But I'm very well, Pete. How are you?
Yeah, very well. I'm very excited. I'm going to see Oasis tonight as we're recording this with my son, and I was all ready to brag about it with you guys because I know you both wanted to go. But actually, Dharmesh, you've been already. What the heck is going on here?
I feel a little bit guilty about this whole thing because when the craziness about Oasis and their reunion tour came out, I'll be honest, I was like, take it or leave it. And I wasn't going to go on the phone and spend hours. There were so many people on my WhatsApp groups. Oh, I can't get a ticket, I can't this. I was like, yeah, I know some of their songs. I do like them. Whatever. Then on Saturday, a friend of mine who's actually going this Saturday was like, oh, I've just seen there's tickets on this ticket website.
Yeah.
They're quite reasonably priced. I want to go tonight. And I said, well, yeah, I'm not too fussed. I'm playing golf. And there was like a pause and he goes, this is why we work so hard for moments like this. And I was like, oh, all right, I won't play golf. Go on then. I'll come to the concert. Oh my goodness. Thank God I went.
Oh,
mate, I got right into it, wore a bucket hat, everything.
Yes.
It was absolutely brilliant.
Class. Well, I've got my bucket hat literally to the left of me here and my Oasis t-shirt. When this finishes recording, I'm going to whip them on, get on the train in Newcastle, get down to Wembley and go tonight. So I will report next week what it was like.
Let me tell you something very quickly. So when we left, you know, like when you leave a football match at Wembley, and it takes ages to get to Wembley Park Station. Well, that was the case with this concert. There's clearly like 90 to 100,000 people, however many it was at Wembley. And, you know, I'm there for like 40 minutes. You know, they've got those stop and start, stop and go. And so it took 45 minutes to get down to the station. And, you know, a lot of people had a few drinks and I was like, what's the atmosphere like in, you know, when everyone's waiting, people are going to get frustrated, there's going to be a bit of trouble. Nothing. Complete silence until someone had a speaker and they started blaring out Oasis and Verve songs, because Richard Ashcroft's a support act on there, who was brilliant as well, by the way. And then the whole of Wembley Way just started singing.
Class.
It was a beautiful moment. Beautiful.
Usually we don't get stuck in that queue because we're doing post-match duties as journalists and broadcasters, right? By the time I get to Wembley Way, it's empty. That's 3 hours after the full-time whistle.
Well, I can't wait to go back. So it'll be the first time going back to Wembley since Newcastle won the Carabao Cup final. There's the first mention of the day for the people who get frustrated by my constant Newcastle mentions. Yes, I'm looking forward to going back there. Great memories, of course, and I'll be alongside my son again, who was with me when we lifted the trophy there a few months back now, isn't it? But still dining out on that one up here in the northeast. Right, let's get into this. Sam, you been all right, mate? Enjoying your summer? What's been happening?
Oh, do you know, I feel like in the last week or so I've hit that point where I'm almost getting like transfer fee fatigue. I don't know if you know what I mean, but just like there's been so many deals for 30, 40, 50 million pounds that in their own right should be quite big deals, but because there's been so many of them, I get more news that someone's joined Club X for 30 million. I go, okay.
Don't forget the add-ons.
And then there's the plus add-ons. Only wanted to join them, and and then there's more news. Oh, he's going to join X for 50. I'm like, okay, but I should be like, oh my god. But 2 months into the window, you just get, it's not transfer fatigue, it's transfer fee fatigue, where almost nothing shocks you at this point. Ekitike, 69 rising to 79. I was like, okay, all right, no worries.
You could call it transfer fatigue, maybe.
Fatigue,
yeah. Very good. This is why you guys are on here. Brilliant content, boys. Right, so transfers wise, Sam.
Yes.
We're going to start with Alexander Isak. 3 weeks ago now, I think you said your gut feeling was he's going to end up at Liverpool, and when they signed Ekitike, I sort of slept a lot easier. I've had so many people tweet me going, "How are you sleeping, Pete?" Because this is playing out in the sort of a nightmarish way. Although it's certainly not over. It is not over as things stand. Liverpool desperate to sign him. Newcastle hoping that he stays, but clearly in the market for other strikers as well. So what's happening? I mean, the latest we know is that the Newcastle boss Eddie Howe, he admitted that Isak's future may be out of his hands, with the striker strongly linked now to Liverpool. And we know that Isak's informed the club that he wants to explore his options this window. Before we get into the chat, boys, let's hear exactly what Eddie Howe had to say when he was asked on their pre-season tour in South Korea.
He's still our player. It's contracted to us, so we to a degree control what's next for him. So I'd love to believe all possibilities are still available. So we've received no formal offer from any football club for him. So my wish has always been that he stays and we see him again play next year, but that's not in my full control.
Eddie's wish is that he stays. He echoes the sentiments of just about every single Newcastle United fan, although there has been a bit of a shift in emotion with regards to Alexander Isak and the Newcastle fans. I'll get into that in a second, but key thing there, Dharmesh, no formal offer received. Which way is this one going to go?
Can I just start off by saying, look, social media sometimes is a wonderful thing. But I noticed a couple of comments the other day when I talked about Isak on the transfer show on Sky Sports News, and there were replies underneath, and it was almost like there were some fans who were saying, oh, here's the media agenda again. They want Isak out of Newcastle and to go to Liverpool. I read these things and I think, do people actually think that what we say is going to dictate whether Alexander Isak makes a £150 million departure from Newcastle? No. All we do is we get information, and that's all we can do. We don't make an opinion on that situation. Sometimes we do because we read between the lines. And if you look at what Eddie Howe is saying, he's saying it's in our control to a degree. Is it? It's in your full control, surely. We're not saying that. This is the Newcastle manager saying it's in our control to a degree. It's clear Alexander Isak's head has been turned. He hasn't gone on the tour. He wants to explore his options outside Newcastle. That's not us. This is the information everybody is getting. So we can only report that. Now, the way this is going, it feels like the direction of travel is going to be Isak leaves. But obviously, Liverpool, if it is to be them, because we know they've got a huge interest in the player, are going to have to stump up a massive, massive fee. They're going to have to break their own British transfer record to get him. We're hearing anything between 120 to 150 million pounds to get Isak out of Newcastle, especially if it's going to be a club like Liverpool and he's going to stay in the Premier League. So that's the feeling that not only myself, but generally is around Alexander Isak just at this moment in time, only because a minor thigh strain, yes, that could keep him out of a tour. I get that. But coupled alongside all of the noise surrounding him at the moment, Newcastle know that they've got a problem. And are they looking at the likes of Johan Wissa, Ollie Watkins, Benjamin Sesko, if they are not fearing Alexander Isak is going to leave the football club? That's the problem at the moment.
Sam, you talked at the top about fatigue, and 150 million is what is being touted as Newcastle United's asking price. Is that a fair fee for Alexander Isak?
Yeah, I mean, no transfer fatigue on 150 million pounds. That's enough to make anyone's eyeballs pop, isn't it? Look, Newcastle are well within their rights to demand as much as they possibly can here, and I think they're about right to pitch it about 150 million pounds. It's getting on in the window. I'd probably had him tagged at about 120 million back at the start of the summer, but as time ticks by and options reduce and time goes by, it's sorry, but it's a matter of urgency, and the price has to go up. And the fact that Newcastle have this situation where they have Isak with 3 years left on his deal, it does give them a lot of power in this scenario, because they